we go.
Right.
And get the camera put into the right place.
Camera's nice. Camera's good.
Oh, now I forgot. I remember now. Okay, you remember earlier? Okay, I got it now. I remember now. All right. Okay, here we go. And then I got to put this button up. And that takes us right into game 1, ladies and gentlemen. So, Zaf.
Yes.
Zaf, talk to me about the 3X lineup here in the green on the north spawn.
All right, so welcome, guys. This is our first battle in a best-of-3 winners bracket final. 3X versus Rain. Totally no surprise what we're seeing here. 3X is choosing to bring a Ragnar, a Druid, and another Druid. We haven't seen that yet this tournament. And then we've got for cruisers a Moskva, an Austin, a Puerto Rico, and a Conde. Look at that, Raptor. No battleship. What about Rain?
Indeed, no battleships from the south spawn. Rain's team lineup is, I won't say it's radically different. It's kind of headed in the same direction. They're also fielding a Conde, matched up with a Yodo, an Austin of their own, and a bit of their own Russian radar, only they're bringing a Petro instead of the Moskva. And then destroyer lineup, very different, investing in Shimakaze, a Vampire Deuce, and a Daring. It's curious to me. Okay, I'm realizing now the mod that I have is lists the point values of the ships. That's why I'm seeing points next to each of these ship titles. It took me a minute to realize that was a thing. And it's noteworthy to me to see how much Rain has invested in their destroyer lineup. There's a lot of points sunk in there. About 40 points a boat.
Yeah, and that's what we typically saw yesterday was teams that were investing heavily either in the cruiser side or the destroyer side. Worthy of note, the Sheep Shimakaze is running a full unique upgrade torpedo spec. Everything, dump the torpedoes and pray kind of build.
Oh yeah, right up there with the legendary mod and everything. Now, I will say I am very curious, and we're gonna have a look at this. How are these druids built?
For 3X?
Yeah, it looks like gun reload. Mostly gun reload and RPF. These look like they're tailor-made to be destroyer hunters. Zath, am I kind of reading this correctly, you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Destroyers have been the name of the game this tournament. And worthy of note, there's no Elbing and there's no Druid in this game. Remember, I was telling you before.
That's not true. There are 2 druids on 3X.
Oh,
we were just talking about that.
Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm missing that up with Daring. But okay. No Elbings at the very least.
No Elbings for sure, but we've definitely got plenty of British destroyer action otherwise.
Right. Now the Druids, of course, no torpedoes except for if they can ram, and they only have the 2 guns in the front. So we could definitely see them do some crazy stuff. Yesterday we saw. I thought it was hilarious. They threw Vile in an Elbing, so they put one of their best players in the cheapest destroyer possible, and Kinney's sailing around in a Nevsky like, hey.
Big Conde salvo there on the Rain Petro early. Big HE salvo coming in and knocking off, about 5,000-6,000 damage.
Yeah.
Both teams grabbing their quote-unquote home cap. A very, very small advantage for 3X right now. Both teams jockeying for position. Curiously, nobody wants the C cap, Zaf. Nobody wants the C cap.
Not yet. I think that will change. But for right now, it's a little bit too close for comfort, I think, for both teams.
Maybe. I gotta say, though, I like Kenny Mod's Puerto Rico position, but I feel like Gangbarang's Vampire Deuce has a really good opportunity here to steal this cap along the western edge where Kenny Mod wouldn't have shots. Of course, Kenny's moving up now.
Yep. Blood Legend does take a torpedo. Marcelo Pello narrowly dodges some torpedoes, now under radar threat from the Petropavlovsk.
Yeah, Petro radar had been up. It just went down. Taro trying to smoke away as now there comes Blood Legend's radar coming in. And Taro getting smacked around a little bit by the Ragnar HE. I might have been Conde HE. I didn't quite see where that salvo came from. And the Druid's still putting shots downrange.
Yep, so some initial contact there. Both teams getting a little bloodied.
Taro's still taking damage here.
Yeah, well, he was pretty deep, and that radar lasts pretty long.
He was. Moscow radar ticking away. About 5 seconds left. He's going to edge
just
out
got
of
out
it
of
right
range.
there. Yep, just barely sneaks out of it. Manages to avoid a fire off that last salvo. And now the Petro becomes the target of the hate as the Druid, the Ragnar, and the Conde all start in on him.
Yes, and look at the combo of Druid and Ragnar in the smoke together.
Yeah. I love this because Because, I mean, what's Ragnar's, I won't say biggest problem, but I'll say biggest complaint, right, is that she's fairly easy to hit. It's a big boat. It doesn't move great. But you're in there. This is that crawly smoke, right? So they can both chill in there and troll at like quarter speed. Oh, this is a brilliant combo. This is what I'm saying. Like, I think Druid is an amazing ship if you play it, I won't say right, but like, you know, in a div with friends, whatever. But solo gaming, that ship is a very, very tough sell for me.
Absolutely. But, you know, they're making it work here.
I think they're going to get this Petro. It's only a matter of time. They've got too much firepower to put on him right now.
Look at Kinimod just kind of slowly backing down this channel.
Yeah. Well, I love this position from Kinney as well, right? The AP, the Austin SAP falling in on Gangbarang's Vampire Deuce. I'm really impressed that John can land those shells at that kind of range. Although the Austin shell velocity is pretty good.
Well, when you vomit out shells with your funny button, it helps as well.
I struggle with that ship so hard. He's going to get punished for it, but he is going to pick up the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Rain looking like they're trying to pick up Kinimod here, but I think they're going to lose the Petro as soon as the Moss radar comes back up another 15 seconds or so. May not even have come to that. They've already started hitting him blindly in the smoke. Yep.
That Petros radar is on, so they can now see everybody from 3x, as if it matters.
Yeah, but they're not really shooting at anybody, though. Druid can see all of those torpedoes coming. There's no way he's going to take any of them.
There's Blood Legends radar, and that will seal the deal for the Petro.
Yeah, they should be able to knock this Petro out now and complete this push down the 3 line. Now, they are having to contest with Artorias' Conde, who's taken up a really nice kind of denial position over here. Petro survives to a heal, still in the game. They're trying to push Marcelo up to where his AP can maybe push him out. No, there we go. Now they're getting enough damage on the Petro.
The Marcelo is actually shooting over at the Shimakaze.
Yep, they're shooting the destroyers beyond. 19 health for the Petro. Here come the Conde shells. Doesn't matter. They finally bag him.
Yep, there's first blood for 3x.
Now, Marcello is or isn't caught on the Daring Hydro. He is. Yep, they can absolutely see him as he takes a massive salvo there from the Yodo. Ship Shady making his presence known on the battlefield.
Oh, yes.
So now we're seeing Marcello had to keep his Hydro running to get into this position, avoid the Shimakaze torpedoes, but lacking it now, he's vulnerable to the Daring, who moves out and wipes him out.
Absolutely, yes. Good play there by Antaro, getting a kill of their own.
Excellent play by Rain, as the pain that Gangbarang suffered at sea is worth it. They are ticking up points now on both caps. 80-point lead and growing here, 8 minutes gone.
Of course, worthy to note is that the Vamp Deuce does not have a heal, so Gangbarang is stuck with, well, you know, half health.
Yeah.
At least he's got Adrenaline Rush.
No problem. We've got this.
See if Ship Shady decides to go up the channel with the Yodo or not. We saw some Yodos yesterday.
Why would you do... Well, I mean, I don't know that I'd do that with the Puerto Rico right there. That feels a little overly bold to me.
Well, there's the radar to make sure he's not going up the channel.
Yep, double checking, as now Vile's Druid pushing in on Antaro's Daring. And Blood Legends backed up by Blood Legends' Moskva. Moskva's coming down the pipe there. Coming down the 4 line. These Druids are absolutely bullies in the right hands.
Yep, 3 minutes to go. Actually, yesterday we saw a lot of Druids chasing Druids. It was hilarious.
Little hot Druid on Druid action, huh?
Oh, yeah. Now, for Amazing and John the Ruthless's Austins are about to meet.
I was just to say, we may have a little hot Austin on Austin action here over on the 9 line. I'm glad you caught it. They're both turning out. They're gonna manage to accidentally keep this island in between them mostly. Check this out. Like, this is hilarious.
Wow.
2 ships passing in the night is a real thing in World of Warships. Who knew?
It absolutely can be, yeah.
Out to a 150-point lead now for Rain. Again, the Daring Hydro locking up Vile. Free shots he's taking. Yodo shells coming in. Not really getting anything there. A little bit. They've got Intaro locked up as well. There's the Hydro and the Radar. They know exactly where to find him. No one has shots on him, though. Intaro hugging this island tightly as the Yodo continues to pound this Druid.
And I'm sure Blood Legend wants to go up and get to the other side through the channel, but look at Ship Shady's torpedoes.
Yep.
Area denial.
You can't take the risk. You know, Yodo is a ship that I don't even own yet, and I won't pretend I've ever really understood the line. The
Sheep is in trouble.
Line. Yep. I saw all the shells going in. I thought they're gonna pick him up, and they do.
Yeah, it's that radar from Blood Legend took him out, and Taro gets hit a bit. So the Yodo,
Bile is also maybe gonna go out. Oh no, his Hydro's
no.
Gonna say it's not. With the Hydro up, he still reverses into a torpedo. Sheep gets his revenge, but they are gonna bag the daring. And so now, at last, after over 10 minutes of combat, 3X has a clear shot into the B-cap.
Yep, Arturius trying to make sure that it cost him a little bit in the process. Now, Rain doesn't, of course, want to lose the Conde because then they can't use it for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah. You have to wonder if Arturius has got a speed boost coming. He's 40-ish seconds away. You have to think that maybe he'll try and just speed boost back to the east to preserve the flagship. But it's not over for Rain yet. They still have a lead for the moment. Plenty of time on the clock.
Arturius is actually dark right now.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's got space at the bottom of the map here to just barely sneak away if he can get his speed boost cooking. The Ragnar is moving south to deny him that. At the moment, the island is letting him make this maneuver.
Right.
But in a minute, that's going to end.
Speaking of things ending in a minute, 2 minutes to go until Rain wins this match. Which means 3X absolutely needs a kill or to step onto C.
They're going to have to do something.
You can see John the Ruthless being forced in, now spotted. And here we go.
Austin. There's the hot Austin on Austin action we were looking for.
Spider-Man meme coming up.
You know, as much as I struggle with this ship, I feel like this is an engagement that you have to understand, right? Like if you're going to play in Austin, you have to be able to know and ask yourself, what happens if I run into the mirror match and how do I deal with it?
Right, well you saw John the Ruthless there just completely pointing his bow in as Formazing just showers him with love.
Not much else you can do as they do pick up the Ragnar Zath.
Yeah, that's huge. 29 seconds for Rain.
I was seconds away from a Rain win here in game one. They're going to lose to Conde.
Arturius is healing.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Shell's already in the air. But still, that's very uncomfortable for 3X to be that, well, they were that close. Because
and then John the Ruthless gets the kill, too.
Picks up the Austin, yep. No trade there. I was going to say, without the kill, 3X maybe in a bit of a pickle, but with that kill, and they're going to eventually pick up B, I just can't imagine a world where the Yodo, where they're able to kill Blood Legend and keep these two ships on the board.
Yeah, they're going to try, but yeah, I just don't see it.
Try. You don't ever stop trying, but I don't see it. All of the 3X destroyers are gone, but they bought them exactly what they needed.
You got it. And I gotta say, John the Ruthless also winning that engagement over by C.
That's a huge deal. You know, like because we saw it, right? If he doesn't necessarily win that engagement straight up, Rain still has a chance to win. But as it stands, I don't think they have. I mean, you greatly reduce their chances at that point.
Yep. Ship Shady is going down in moments.
Yep.
You can see how weak the turrets are. He's lost 2 turrets already.
Has he really?
Yeah. These turrets have paper for armor. Literal paper for armor. Folded 1,000 times.
I was saying, well, I was about to make some crack about the Imperial Japanese Navy never being one for armor, but that's not entirely accurate if you go look at the profile of Yamato, is it?
No.
There it is.
All right, Gangrang dies. He does manage to get Blood Legend after the call.
Yep, and I would say notably, Zath, Rain loses their Conde in that game.
Oh, yeah, that was Rain's first lost super ship of the tournament. What a way to lose it.
let's check this out, because have a look at the lineups. They've let Angel Stone out of the barn to play, Zaf. They've handed him an Ohio and said, "Go do your thing, my friend."
You do you.
And I gotta say, if I'm Rain, I am not happy about that choice.
Well, would you like to tell us about Rain?
Sure. From the top spawn here of Game 2 on Hotspot, Rain is fielding a lineup not outrageously different than the one they fielded last game. 4 cruisers, 3 destroyers. We're looking at a Yodo, a Moskva, the most expensive ship on the team, the Moskva, a Napoli at 64 points, and a Janan. I was just looking at the cruiser list. We were talking about it right before the game, and I was like, Janan feels a little undervalued to me. So I'm really curious to see how they utilize it, or I'm going to pick your brain and find out if you saw one yesterday. Destroyer lineup, we're looking at Druid and Ragnar, maybe learning something from last game, and married to a super ship there that is tier 11 Japanese destroyer Yamagiri.
That's right. So opposing them to the south is 3X. They won the first game. This is a best of 3. Obviously, they want to win this and move on to the grand finals, and actually just kind of sit for a while as the loser bracket finishes up.
True.
As you mentioned, they've got Angel Stone in his sniper build Ohio. They've got a Yodo of their own, an Henri, and now we go into their destroyers, a Druid, an El Bonk, as Bogsenheimer likes to call it, a Smollend, and a Zorky. So they brought a super ship of their own, also a destroyer. There it is, everybody, a Zorky.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Zorky is a ship that I have played a handful of games, literally like 3, and it's just never really clicked with me all that much.
Well, yeah, it's a little unwieldy because you want to use that funny button and unload on somebody, but at the same time you don't, because when you do that, you hurt your DPM quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
the destroyer funny buttons almost universally feel like traps to me.
It's only really useful when you know somebody's about to die. 1,000 hit points or under, and you absolutely gotta just take them out. Boom.
Right. Let's just make sure we get this, vomit enough shells out, that sort of thing.
Exactly. That's the only time I find it useful. Otherwise, I would be happier in, I don't know, what, Tashkent.
We're seeing 2 very different takes on how to contest C here. As Rain drives a Janan in from the north, spotted by the Elbing, who takes some citadels right away. Artorias does. Because Elbing AP, and opposed from the south by Kinemad's Druid. But Artorias' Janan is perhaps, I won't say he's a great pick to contest this, because he has no way to spot for himself once he's in smoke. No radar, no hydro, nothing.
Right.
That's a tough gig.
Right. He does have the heal. He does have the smoke. He does have the high gun DPM for if he does discover an enemy destroyer.
Vile getting punished for his early insolence there.
He also has the deep water torpedoes with the reload booster.
Yes. So he'll do a decent enough job. Malamu's Druid now getting punished in return.
Yeah, Angel Stone landed a Angel Stone hit.
Yep.
What happens?
He was starting to sneak away, but Marcello's Smollend radar says, "I don't think so, sir."
That's right.
So a Bowen Druid reversing as more of those big Ohio shells coming into land. That's gonna hurt. No, he dodged most of that salvo. But this Druid now down to what? A quarter HP, under a quarter.
He's at 4,000.
Torpedoes come in. He can see
points.
these. He's clear, but goodness, what a price Malamu paid.
Yeah, I think he's gonna just Homer Simpson it up for the rest of this match. I don't think he's gonna be on the front lines anymore.
I don't think he can afford to. C contested, both teams ticking up a cap, an incredibly small lead here for Rain, but not trading health very well early. And it's health that they sort of can't afford to give up because they don't have that big battleship in their lineup the way that 3X does.
Well, that is very true. We aren't seeing the cruisers really flexing their muscles much. I mean, you've got the Moskva for Rain all the way over there. Basically, they're expecting or hoping, I guess, that 3X is going to go for the C cap, but they're not. They're in the middle of the map, and they're just dominating the middle of the map.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at this going. I think their plan is Camp C, deny those points. That's
Mhm.
literally Kinemot's job. And they're going to slowly, eventually creep up, push to A on the back of this
Oof.
battleship. Oh,
Marcelo takes
took
a
at least
torpedo.
one. Was it one or two?
He took
Okay.
one on the face.
That's a noteworthy chunk of the Smolen's HP.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, no. Well, they do have the Ragnar radar over there. I was about to say no radar on that flank. That's a lie. They have Ragnar.
Yes, they do.
Moskva radar now backing up Artorias' Janan at C, picking up Kinemot on the opposite side of this island. They're trying to get eyes on Artorias. I think they're trying to proxy spot him through the island.
Yeah, well, Kinney's got the Hydro up right now to guarantee the spot, and then yes, you're absolutely right. He's just going to go up there because what can Rain do about Kinemot at this point, right? They're too busy over at A.
Yeah, the Moskva position kind of keeps him honest, like in the sense of he's unlikely to dive around this corner and try to kill Artorias all by himself.
Right.
But it does allow the Yodo now, faster motions Yodo on the edge of the map to start getting shells on him. And it also lets Angel Stone know where to look, right? Angel looking, trolling now the bottom of the sea cap, turning in. Maybe he's going to come punch Artorias in the nose.
I mean, you know, Janon's not a threat if it's bow onto you.
There goes the Druid, coming around, trying to get on the broadside and get and Citadel the Janon out. They can be able to do it too.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of health to do this, though.
Yeah, but they're going to get him. I mean, you can't.
Yep.
The Druid can't. The Janon can't sustain that.
Kinemot now just.
If you're Kenny, you probably honestly, if you're free X, you make that play going. If you get the trade, fine. Try not to die, but if you get the trade, fine.
I love it. Kenny just like he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna pop smoke and you're not gonna see me anymore. And it worked.
And it worked. And it worked.
Wow. Brilliant play by Kenny there.
Bold, and I love seeing it succeed. You know, again, I come back to Druid is one of those ships that I've struggled with because in randoms, if you play by yourself, you don't get a lot of support. But man, the Druid in the right hands of a coordinated team is a monster. Now, Sheep's Yamagiri, way over here on the 10 line, hasn't really been super impactful yet. I think these torpedoes he put out for Angel are all going to fall astern.
I mean, the entire 910 for Rain has been kind of lackluster, you know?
Yeah.
One Yodo has taken out or taken up a Yamagiri and Yodo on the other side.
Yeah.
So, question is, I mean, Angel Stone smartly is going to dive behind this island, knowing that there's probably torpedoes coming in from that side anyways. Like you said, he's probably going to dodge everything. Actually, he's slowing down. Now, that torpedo's going to encourage him to speed up. And he'll dodge it because of that. Yep.
Woo! Close. Right under the screws.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you know, imagine Zath zoning into a game and being the only battleship in an entire match. What an amazing feeling that must be. To know that there's nobody out there who's going to slap you when you make a turn, probably. Like, that feels good.
It brings back memories of taking a Tier 5 Strike Zuiho into a battle and seeing no enemy carrier. And just knowing that you're going to have a good game.
I hate you. I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much for bringing up so many bad memories.
Bad for you is great for me.
Oh, man. The old days when carrier matchmaking wasn't mirrored. Feels terrible. Well, it's a 170-point lead for 3X here as we're getting near the halfway mark of the game. 8.5 minutes gone. It's a one-ship lead as Sheep's Yamagiri now steps into C. That stems a little bit of the bleeding, but this 4-ship push in the mid, Gangbarang's Napoli, Malamu's Druid trying to hold them back and just not successful, really. I mean, they simply don't have the board pieces, Zath.
No. Now, Faster Motion did just take a Yodo torpedo by Fort Amazing, and he tried to get Faster back on fire. Did not happen. So that kind of feels bad, right? Like, nothing else is going to happen over there.
Rain has got so many ships clustered around this sea cap that they're going to lose control of A. It's simply a matter of time.
That's right.
Gangbarang's Napoli, though, is hanging in. The problem is the Henri's about to come around the corner and remind him that the Franco-Italian naval arms race sort of might not go his way.
Yeah, Gang's prepared for it, though. He's already starting to turn out.
Yep. Little surprised Legend didn't have AP in the barrel. There's the
Yeah,
AP.
I would have thought the same. He probably fired his guns and swore a few times and then switched. I've done that
Malibu
myself.
out of heals, still has smoke. Well within sight of this Henri.
Yeah, well, too late now.
Too late
he's,
now.
he's not going to use the smoke.
Oh yeah, the Henri coming around the corner with his hydro up. Yep, I see it now. Just like that, the A cap's going to fall to 3x. I don't think Rain gets back into this game now, Zath.
And you know, it's so crazy because, you know, Rain played a nearly flawless tournament up until this point, only losing one game to STCN.
Yeah, I feel like they had maybe had an opportunity. Like, we talked about it early on. You could see how much pressure, how much force 3x brought to the middle of the board. I sort of half expected Rain to rotate somebody over there to kind of help. They never did. They never did. In fact, they pulled the Ragnar out. Intaro left that flank.
Yes.
To come over here to see, and I'm still not sure why.
Well, I think they were trying to farm down Angel Stones, Ohio. But it's in Ohio. You really can't farm that thing down.
Intaro looks like he might have disconnected, Zaf. Like, he's sitting stationary on the top end of the C-cap, just chilling, and he ran straight over there for a while. So I don't know.
Well, Gangbrag now doing the Inky with the sap secondaries, trying to get Blood Legend that way.
Yep, letting his heal tick, trying to get his health pool maximized before he's visible again. He's got 11 seconds of smoke and 15 seconds. His heal's going to tick all the way up, right up until his smoke expires, basically.
Yep, there goes Gangbrag's shells, and
Does go. Goes ahead and takes the salvo and doesn't get it. Takes 9K in return. Does finally bag the Henri.
And there's the trade. Wow.
But the Henri gets the trade.
I feel like Gang got a little greedy there, trying to get that last hit in. Didn't even turn either. I'm surprised he didn't even turn.
Yep. And Taro back in the game now, but we're under 60 seconds here. Getting back into the C-cap, which they already own, is not really going to do them anything.
No.
You have to wonder, Zath, if Sheep's Yamagiri might have been better served vomiting his torpedoes, into the middle of the board, right? If he had been playing like the top end of C, maybe call it around D6, D7, and just pushing torpedoes across the middle of the board to sort of discourage this push that 3X made right through the middle of the map.
Yeah, it's just... I'm with you. I don't understand the decision to just throw Jinan behind an island where it can't even see anything. But,
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like if you were going to if your plan was sit this guy here, contest the cap, hold the cap, I almost feel like you're better off doing it with an Austin, right? At least you've got the Hydro at a minimum.
Yes.
And you've got the SAP and the funny button. So if somebody rushes you, you can probably make them sorry. And granted, let's be honest, they aren't going to rush you. Like, they probably aren't.
No. Either way, hey, congratulations to 3X for winning the winner bracket finals.
Yep. 3X gets to now go get a nap and a cup of coffee for a few hours while everybody else continues to play through to see who's going to fight them in the grand final.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little jealous of this.
You and me both, sweetheart. You and me both.